Welcome to Actually Controller, the podcast that is actually Controller. And we are actually in control of everything you're hearing right now. I'm so very sorry.
All right.
There we go.
Thank you, everyone. Hello.
He's like, hi.
All right. Welcome to Actually Controller. You got Steve.
Very sorry.
Chad. I didn't hear a Jeffrey.
It's a Jeffrey.
There it is.
Yeah.
And it's Bob.
And Chris.
All right. Today we have some awesome guys in the house.
Right?
Yep. So Faith and Nothing is actually in the house. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
My name is Charlie. I play guitar in the band.
My name is Mr. Wolf.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
Yes, according to Jeff.
Yes.
My name is Ryan. I play bass for Faith and Nothing.
Wonderful.
We're going to have to adopt.
Great
I got to
having you
turn
guys
over
here. So,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
in previous episodes, you guys have heard us talking about these awesome guys. Actually, we've played some shows with them.
Yeah, we did a song preview.
Yeah, we did a review
episode
video.
actually with them too. So
The video.
that's kind of what spurned this actually to happening, because I think that Charlie actually responded with a comment on that one saying that, hey, if you guys want to do an interview, we'd be down. I'm like, all right, cool, we can make that happen.
Yeah, you guys said on there like, oh, we should get them on. We're like, we're about it. Have some beers and let's hang out and
Hang
talk
out,
some
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Big party here.
Yeah, we are all about having homies hang out.
So we've done like what, 3 shows with you guys now?
Yeah, I think so.
Like
Yeah.
3.
Two, I think, yeah.
2. Thought we did 3.
Yeah, I think it's 2.
I think most recently was the big birthday bash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one
Yes.
back in January.
Well, we had one just
Apparently
before
I
that.
have
You guys were on our EP release,
question.
I believe, back in September.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, that was the
I'm
first
looking
one.
at my archivist here. He remembers way more than any of us ever do.
So, all right, I'm going to hop right into our first question.
Jeff
For
just wants to
you.
get out of the way.
He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want any banter. He's like, let's get it down to serious
kidding.
brass tacks.
Well, we don't
We
have
got
anything interesting
business
to
to
say,
do.
so
I mean, we
I hope you have some interesting things to say. We're doing a whole 45 with you.
we're going to find out.
we want to get past the boring questions and get to the fun topics.
Yeah, the fun
I was trying
come
to.
after
Hold on,
the serious questions.
These questions are not
Preserves or
boring.
marmalade.
These questions are not boring. Steve worked really hard on them.
I didn't. All of us did, except for you.
I know.
Okay, so my question starts with Mr. Wolf.
That's a burn circle right there.
Thank you.
I just get used to it and
What
phase it out.
experience inspired you to start your craft?
Whew, man. So I was working at a video game store
Nice.
when I was like
That's awesome.
16 or 17. It was McVan's Video Games.
Nice. Yes.
Local
Dude, that's
store.
where I saw you before.
Yep. I worked there for quite a while, and prior to that, a guy that I went to grade school with played bass. And
Very cool.
one day he hit me up, and he was like, hey, man, it's like I'm getting rid of all my shit. I don't want to play anymore. Do you want to play? And he's like, I'll sell it to you for $150.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like,
Oh no!
And I
Full
was-
rig.
yeah, it was just like a little practice amp.
That's
you know,
awesome.
just like a 4-string Ibby.
Yeah,
Was
that's
that
awesome.
that sound gear bass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And I was like,
Nice.
you know what, man? Like at the time, I was like, you know what? This will be a great way for me to just not play video games.
Yeah.
And I-
Do something else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
thought I would buy it, and that like it would sit in my closet, and that I'd never touch it after 2 weeks. And it turns out like I got obsessed with it, and I would play until my fingers bled.
Trade one time consuming hobby for another one that's more expensive.
Yep. And like
And physically alters you.
At that point, I was like super into like Metallica and like Cliff Burton, and like
Yes.
saw how he played with his fingers.
Yeah.
And I was
So
like,
pulling teeth was a.
that was one of the first things
Yep.
that I learned. The triad, the doo 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 doo.
Yeah.
And and it kind of took. That happened, and now I'm sitting here.
The pinnacle of Wolf's
Trust me,
career.
you have a lot further to go up this hill.
I hope so. Yeah.
I've got
It feels like Sisyphus. It feels like I've been pushing the stone up the hill.
Yes.
Welcome to
I
local
feel
music.
that.
Welcome to starting a band.
Yeah, exactly.
First 2
exactly.
years. That's what it is.
Yep.
So how about you, Charlie?
What got me
Yeah. What experience inspired you to start the craft?
to start playing music?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is interesting. So I learned guitar at like 11 years old And a buddy of mine that like we used to like ride our bikes and like in our little small town, we were like the BMX kids.
Nice.
He was like, "What if we started a punk band? And we like sang songs about BMX." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, let's do it." And
Three
then, like,
chords, BMX.
I mean, that's fair.
but like my dad had like this old acoustic guitar from the '60s that like I didn't know how to play, and I was always kind of interested in it, but nothing like really motivated me to like get to it and
No
do
reason.
it every day.
Yeah, you had no
Stick with
reason.
it for months.
But if you were gonna show off BMXing, man, and punk,
But then the thing that pushed me over the edge was I got 3 older sisters,
yeah.
and I was like 11, and they're all teenagers.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm
those
so
are-
sorry.
Those are tumultuous years for teenage girls.
So this is
Yeah,
So,
you-
like,
Were you the campfire guy?
One day, my parents and my sisters are just all having this knockdown drag out in the front of the house.
Oh, wow.
My bedroom was in the very back, and I was like, you know what? Spending a lot of time back here. I should just get the guitar. Let's start doing this.
Yeah.
And like, I was just escaping
Here
like
anymore.
the tumultuous
Oh, there you go.
teenage girl shit in the front of the house.
that's amazing.
You know what? I'm just gonna
That's a
Mel
f-
Bay chord book.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Down.
Sorry, I'm busy.
How do I get
Sorry,
to
I'm busy.
F? How do we
He's got
smoothly
3
get
sisters
to
and a
F?
head full of orange hair.
That's awesome.
Nice. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that your household was thankful that you didn't murder anybody and went and picked up the guitar.
No,
instead.
the one of the sisters would have murdered somebody. I was cool back then.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
happy
yeah.
as a clamp.
Okay. Yeah.
They were stealing each other's bras and trying to stab each other.
Oh
over
my
it. Like,
goodness. Oh my goodness.
So
Sibling love.
You know what?
how long
Steve,
have you guys been doing this then? You mentioned 11
Steve,
years
that's
old.
why we
now.
argue. You steal my
Um,
jock strap all the
Yeah,
time.
I started my first band at like 11,
So what are you, like 23 now?
34.
so kind of you. So kind.
sitting. No,
That
you're
was
sitting
really well
with
done.
a lot of senior citizens here. So
hey, hey.
We're all on
Stop
the brink
you!
of AARP. No, you're on the
Stop
brink
you!
of AARP. It's fine.
man, I've been
Stop
getting AARP for 5 years now.
I got 23 years of playing guitar and trying to keep a band going.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to add on a little bit of a bonus to that question, because if I'm not mistaken, you do the majority of the recording too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did that exactly start up, and was that a more out of necessity, or was that a equal passion to playing?
It's become an equal passion, but the way it started out was like the band I was in as a teenager. We went down to Columbus and we saved up like $1,000 back in 2006 or 2007.
So $12,000 now.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much.
Sounds about right.
We went down and recorded, and it felt like this awesome opportunity to go to a legit studio, and like the production was great. But we paid $1,000, and then the engineer there, he knew what he was doing, but he just seemed like he was just, ready for 5 o'clock to get there to get out
Right.
of there. And it's to get somebody to actually invest time and care about your music, it either takes probably more than $1,000 a song, I guess,
Yeah.
or you kind of being a big deal. So it was all right, well, this guy's kind of a jerk, and I feel like this is something that I could learn how to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So then I was all right, well, yeah, let me just, and that back then, this was 2007 or so, when there was not a lot of online resources for
Right.
learning how to do it. So it was just me.
You didn't have
and my little
YouTube University
interface.
to that level.
Yeah,
just me and
exactly.
my interface and GarageBand on a MacBook that I talked my parents into buying me a MacBook.
That's awesome.
As an early graduation gift from high school.
Okay.
And then it was well, shit, now I definitely have to graduate.
There's a little bit of caveat to that laptop
Yeah.
staying
Yeah.
in
They
your
were
possession.
we like the idea of this. Yeah, you're going to make sure you keep showing up to school your senior year. But no, that was the thing. And then, yeah, it's become an equal passion because
Nice.
I honestly like the songwriting side more than I even like the guitar playing side. I like to be creative.
yeah.
with an
Yeah.
instrument.
That's
But yeah, the songwriting is what's the most interesting thing to me. And then recording, you get to have your hands in every detail of making it great.
right.
And so that I really became passionate about production
Okay.
Yeah.
over the years. But honestly, right off the bat, I was really into
That was
that.
Steve's opportunity to throw it to our honorary 6th member.
Yeah, so our honorary 6 member that honestly is the reason we sound the way that we do
Yeah.
is our producer, Austin Putt.
Yeah. He's awesome.
We ended up on a fluke getting in with him right after he had opened the studio. So
what's
we
the
were
name of the
like,
studio?
what now?
What's the name of the
1521.
Yeah, 1521 Studio. So
Yep.
we were technically his second client
Yeah.
ever that he had in the studio. And he had done stuff previous. He had already done a stint out in L.A. and everything like that. And he was just trying to get it off the ground because he was setting everything up in his house. And it just so happened to work that his personality and our personalities jived.
That's what set him apart
so
was
well.
that he would. It was. We went in to record with him like a whole dang album in like a weekend.
Yeah, we recorded our first album in 2 days.
Yeah, in
With-
2
oh,
days.
wow.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's so quick.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had 2
And-
days because all of our work schedules said
And he
we have 2 days to
ripped us
record this.
apart.
That's like punk band NoFX first album.
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
stuff
and he
there.
ripped us apart about it. Like we went in, all the parts that are on there are very close to what was originally imagined, but I would say that a good 90% got tweaked as we were working with him.
Yeah,
And then we started like living us to the idea like, hey, you're playing keys, he's playing guitar. Try to consider your frequencies. Don't try to play over the top of each other. Play in different realms of like tonality.
Yeah, don't be in the same register.
Exactly.
He
yeah.
definitely took us to school.
Yeah.
yeah. So
and-
come second
Dude,
album,
that's a good thing. I've had those experiences too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
Come
made
to-
us great musicians, and honestly, like it was being able to
Yeah.
work with him that I
And-
think kinda
And those
made
are
us-
tough like lessons to
Yeah,
learn.
I mean,
it's gotta
be-
Oh no!
Absolutely.
This
You're right
guy, I
apart,
think,
you get
out of
attached
all
to
of us, was the most reluctant to actually take any of the. So, you need to put new strings on. But I like the sound of my dead strings. I don't care what you do.
And then he's sitting there and he's like, "No, you don't."
Yeah.
So he was worse. He was worse than me.
Well, you're
Okay.
an idiot.
Oh, he was so worse than
I
you.
was worse than you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But that's
But-
one of those things where it's like you figure out where like where the limits of your ego are.
Right,
And-
yeah.
And,
But
and
Austin-
that's where growth happens.
That's
Austin
true.
got his
You
way.
have to
Even in that
stay
first record, I
insightful.
went out and bought new strings for each day that I
Mm-hmm.
had to record was a fresh set of strings.
And it's been absolutely awesome because he's held us accountable to how we should actually portray ourselves and how we want to portray ourselves.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee we've each kind of come back and forth at him, and he's made us better musicians. So yeah.
There's been plenty of times where I thought fist fights would pop out, but they didn't. And it's been
So
good.
I mean, but to your earlier statement when you're saying that you got that guy who just doesn't care, it is such a fluke when you find that person who's just as invested
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
project
Yeah.
as you are. And when we found that we got a guy that was just as invested, we're like, okay, you're ours.
Yep.
You're ours forever
You can't
until
leave.
we
Yeah.
decide otherwise.
And,
Yep.
and that's the thing I think at a younger age you don't necessarily understand is like when the engineer, it feels like he's telling you you're doing everything wrong. It's like, no, that's a good engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
If
Oh,
he's
yeah.
paying
He's
that
giving
close
you
of
all the
attention,
feedback.
If all he's
He's
doing
giving
is
you
like
the
that
keys to the
sounds
castle
great,
right
he
now.
doesn't care. He's just taking your
we
money.
have an album that had an engineer that said, all right, cool, moving on.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that is our worst album.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, especially in like your musical career, like you don't have the social maturity
Right.
or like the musicianship maturity to be like, I don't think this is what we're going for,
Well-
and also like your ego's a little
Yeah.
bit fragile.
Yeah.
or,
You
had
or at
mentioned
least
that.
like speaking from my.
Well, no,
Yes.
no, that's
No, you
that's
were
You're
very
like, no, I
correct.
wrote this. This is the way I want it. And this
exactly.
is the way it will be. It's
You,
like,
you become emotionally invested in your art. That's everybody, man.
Yeah.
We've
It
we've
would
gone
sound
through
better
that,
if you
like
did it
so
this
many
way.
times around.
Yep.
Yeah, and when I first started, I was always very very like on guard
Yeah.
against that stuff. People would be like, well, maybe it would sound better if it was. I was like, no, this is how.
Yeah,
we
well,
wrote it.
this
This
is-
is the part.
This is the thing.
And then you're
Yep.
like, and then you get a little bit older and you get better at it, and you're like, oh, other people also have valid opinions.
Or you, and then eventually you get to the point where you hopefully trust that guy enough to where you go, all right, well, what am I doing now? Just
Yeah.
tell me what
Right,
I'm doing.
right.
Yeah.
'Cause
Like,
this was my idea. But if you're saying that's not the idea, then what am I doing? We're not going to waste time anymore.
yeah.
Just let me know what I'm going to do.
We're on the clock. If you don't like this, then what do you like?
Yeah.
And show me where I'm going.
And just the argument is pointless because a
Yeah.
lot of times you trying to fight off like, oh, I don't like this idea, I don't
Right.
like this idea. It wastes more time than just trying it out.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
seeing if this is the thing that like,
Yeah.
you'll know immediately if this is good.
Exactly.
I can't tell
Just
you
try.
how many out of the last 3 releases we've had, how many different riffs have ended up on the cutting room floor
Oh,
that
dude.
weren't even ones that we walked in with. They were ones where we're like, hey, would this work?
Let's not even talk.
Chad, tell me
And
how
it's
you
like,
doing
nope.
right now.
Let's not even talk vocally.
Do the riff from the beginning.
Yeah.
And those riffs are probably great riffs. It's
Right.
just once you put it
Not
in
in the context of what- yep.
drums and
Right.
vocal and
Right.
whatever this song
Yep.
is becoming.
Exactly.
Oh, dude.
You get halfway through and go, oh, that riff it's a good riff, but it doesn't work.
Austin
Yeah.
has torn me apart when it comes to vocals.
Yep.
He's probably harder on me and Steve than he is anybody.
I don't know.
Well, that's because I don't put up a lot of fight. I
Yeah, you
only
really don't.
seethe For a little
Yeah,
bit.
well,
I don't know,
You don't
man.
like to struggle cuddle.
I
You'll
don't
just
know.
cuddle.
He's-
I don't fight.
Struggle, snuggle.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just saying.
We don't fight.
You didn't
No,
fight.
I laid down my tracks in one day.
But
I was
here's the thing,
done.
That's
I
true,
don't.
that's
I
true.
don't argue a lot with Austin when he tells me I need to rewrite a
I do.
part, or he's like, "Hey, that doesn't sound right. Let's figure out what sounds right." I'm always willing to go with him.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's such an important part of like that relationship, though, is being able to like take constructive criticism
Well,
and
from Austin.
Unless
but
Steve's
also just, like-
rewriting his part and making me fully rewrite stuff.
but
in
just like
the studio.
understanding like, hey, we're able like as a band, we're here to make the song better.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's,
And
not, it's
as
not
the
one
produ-
person
Yes.
versus the other person.
as
It's
the
about, hey,
producer,
how
it's
can we
his job
together
too.
Make this sound
elevate-
awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's always a consideration for the greatness of the company. The greater good of the company at
Yeah.
large. It's a pirate ship, man. Like everybody is important to this, and like we're allowed to hate each other, but we're not allowed to quit each
And
other.
you will.
Yeah, we're not allowed.
Oh,
to
yes. Steve, don't look at me.
We're allowed to hate each other. We're just not allowed to quit each other.
Don't look at me, Chris.
Once you go to the context of recording,
Why am
it's like it's good to shift your perspective on it. Like, okay, this is a song that we wrote in band practice and we've played live,
Right.
And now we're going to record it. So we need to take it from a song to like, okay, let's think of this whole thing different, like a
Yeah,
painting.
yeah.
This-
Elevate it to
we
that
have
art
a focal
place.
point. We have supporting pieces.
Mhm.
We've got an environment, an atmosphere. We've got
Yeah.
brush strokes and colors.
Absolutely.
Okay,
And you
this
gotta
is our
think-
song, and we're going to take it to a full, finished production.
Exactly.
Well, and that's
yeah.
the reality is, even if you're wanting to be a raw band where you're the 4 on the floor type guys and everything, when you go in the
can't do that.
studio, you have to add that sprinkle of extra bits that might not ever get played live.
'Cause, like,
that don't necessarily alter the song's vibe live.
Nobody
but
wants
they
to
kinda
hear
need to
a
be there.
flat song, man.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, and it takes
you want
time.
Those things that make it pop.
Yeah, you want to take the time to really make sure that you're giving every note it's good and proper to make sure that it if it's there, it serves a purpose.
Chris, we know
Yep.
that you're not the 4 on the floor. That's why you got the Portuguese.
I absolutely cannot do that. I thought about this. I literally thought about that this weekend. I'm like, this is difficult.
Yeah.
It was during we were playing Foo Fighters Everlong, and at
Yeah,
that
oh,
tempo, I'm like, I can't do this. I was thankful when we got to the chorus, and I was able to do more than just the 4 on the floor. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So-
your legs just start to give out.
No, it's just there's a lot. It's
boredom.
fast. It's like 198 beats per minute. So.
Word.
So as we're going down the rabbit hole, I
Yes.
saw Steve,
Yes,
and
yes.
I'm trying
Yeah.
I've been waiting for a good
So-
segue because I did ask earlier how long you've been doing this, but with the time that you guys have put into it, what do you guys hope to accomplish with the venture,
There
with
you go.
music, or what are your
Specific
end
project.
goals?
First and foremost, I think we're about just making the best music that we possibly can. Like I know I have like the records that I really hold in high regard, and like
Right
with this
on.
band and with any other band I've been in, like I want to make music I am like really proud of.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to make a full record that to me I listen to it start to finish and go, man, we gave that everything.
And I'd say you guys are well on your way, man, because everything I've heard has been awesome.
Yeah, appreciate
Yeah.
that, dude. There's
Really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's
like for me,
That's why we hit you up multiple times.
We have a short list of
we
your
don't want to wear you guys out, but you're pretty much like one of the first
Yeah, like-
names started out. We're like, they were just played with them last month. Can we find someone else?
but like
you guys
get
feel
brought
like
up.
kindred
But-
spirits to us.
But they
Aw.
fit
like,
real well.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
different enough to where it's a little different feel.
Yeah.
Well,
yet
and
they're
you
the
guys
same
got
thing.
a
Yeah.
quality like stage presence and everything.
Yeah.
Like I really
I
enjoy
en-
your show.
I
man.
enjoy your performance.
Yeah. Like
as
and
much
and
as I enjoy your
everybody
music.
brings it, which is really good.
I feel like that's like an understated part of being in a band.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like the music is great
Mhm.
and that's awesome, but nobody wants to look at a bunch of guys that look
That
like they
just-
just got done cutting the grass.
Yeah, just
there are
standing
bands.
there,
There are
right?
bands.
You know, like you go and you see a show and you want to see people throw down.
yeah.
I have I have a theory that there are bands that do well in the studio. There are bands that do well live, but the real niche bands are the ones that can do both.
Both.
Yeah.
And there are bands, even in Fort Wayne, that I've heard their studio music, like, that's amazing. And then you see them live, you're like, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
And they're missing a lot of parts that really
Yeah.
were integral to the song.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
you're like,
and it's not that they're bad
No.
or anything like that. It's just it's a little underwhelming in a
Yeah.
live set because like
It's
live
hard
in the
to
studio
do both well.
Yes.
It really
Yes, it
is.
is.
It really
It's
is.
tough, man.
Well,
That's
and
really
then
tough.
unfortunately, in the way of a lot of music, even with the local musicians nowadays, there's a lot of expectation for production.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get put in, and
Yeah.
we're all for the extra bits of
Laptops.
production. We have production in every one of our new tracks nowadays. However, all of the production we put in is never critical
Yeah.
parts. to
Yeah,
the
so
song.
if
Not-
it
not
gets
a falling
stripped down to
reverse
bare
kind of
bones, we're
moment
still
where-
able to play. You know.
Yeah,
We're-
anything we throw in is to spice it up in the recording sense, so that way when you're listening on Spotify, it trips the ear and you're hearing more to
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah, then a lot of those things help with like just maintaining someone's attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
In like the short attention span thing, like when it gets to the big chorus, like okay, we've got a good hook, but a little tambourine and a drop
Yeah.
or something,
Or a
like
ting on a cymbal,
something
or
to
Yeah.
make it go up,
a little
The song
lift,
pick up
a little lift, like what
Exactly,
Chris
that's a great
does,
word
man.
for it.
so Mr. Wolf, what do you?
Yeah, Mr. Wolf.
I had to
go
throw
with
that
it.
out there too. What do you hope to accomplish with this venture with music and what you're doing?
This band has already been really fulfilling for me.
Aww.
And the reason that I say that is, as Jeff knows, you know, as somebody that used to run sound for
Absolutely.
Masochists and all that stuff, you know, like
Oh,
I'm a big heavy metal guy.
Yeah.
and
Ah.
you know that's what I know, and that's what I love, and that's what I'm good at writing. So when we got this band together, it was really a big step outside of my wheelhouse as far as like, hey, instead of being busy, let's focus more on like melodies and
Yeah.
you know, let's
And big
you know,
epic. Although I gotta say, you guys are all doing a great job at it. Like it does have that epic
Co-
end to it, and
Coming
it's
to the
so
realization
good.
that sometimes the best note that you have
is the one that you don't play.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah, it's,
yes.
it's so hard to get to that.
and that's when
space.
you know
Yep.
you've been doing this for too long. When your words are the best part I played was when I shut up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you drop out. So
Especially-
Listen.
Yeah.
That's me. I didn't hear anything. I know. I made that happen.
Especially
I
as a
made that
bass
happen.
player, because I used to write a lot of very busy bass parts as well, and I've pulled it back a lot.
He's
over
just
the
lazy.
years.
Yeah.
Hey,
He
it's,
said, "Yeah."
Right.
it's geriatric.
Yeah.
It's not lazy. It's
Yeah,
geriatric.
Right.
I'm gonna stop
geriatric.
writing double kick works here soon.
old. I'm
Chris,
old.
why is your kick drum so easy now?
That's
'Cause
why
I'm
I
getting
keep
old.
on asking.
He's
if I'm
only
playing
triggering
this
stuff,
song.
and every single stroke is a double now.
I would say, like, for us, I think the moment when Ryan and I probably figured out that it, like, really works together with he and I writing is when it's like, okay, I don't want to really start with a riff. I like starting with the bass line.
Yeah.
And then,
Which
like, having that
sucks
being-
for me, by the way.
I want Ryan to do all the work. No, he
He's like,
starts with the
give me
bass line and I
16
can, like,
bars of awesome so I can just do whatever I want over it. That's
Right.
what he's
Yeah.
just
asking.
like
all the
giving
time.
him all the room in the world to groove, and then like, hey, I want to start with groove, and let's build from there
Yep.
and make it rock.
Well, and I
Yeah.
mean, we try to, and I get it. It's a challenge because there's a lot of times where I'm like, I want a bass-centric verse. I don't know what it's going to be. I just want a bass-centric
and
verse.
that makes the chorus huge.
Yeah, but it's then you're trying to like backpedal where you're like, no. So I wrote a riff, but I want that to not be the focus. So
I just-
how about
Yeah.
you focus around what I did, and then I eliminate that riff completely?
Our song, our
Right.
I'll
song,
write something, you write a bass part, and then I'm going to stop playing that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna write something. You write it, and then when you're done, I'm gonna rewrite my part because I like your part.
Yeah, pretty much.
our song
But it
Clarity.
works so good.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf. It sounds
when
great.
He brought me Clarity,
Anytime, brother.
He's playing just like the most simple guitar part. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, I'm like,
It's like, what
do
do you-
that.
You don't even have a key that you're really in. What do you want me to do?
I'm like, literally do that, and then I'll rewrite something.
It's in like a ka-dung-gung-gung,
He's just giving you the
ka-dung-gung-gung.
frame. That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
Giving you a framework.
So I guess the short answer to the long question is I'm already getting what I wanted out of the band.
That's really awesome.
And so now at this point, it's like, I mean, Charlie and I are good friends. We've been friends way before we ever started a band together.
We didn't think we probably could be in a band together because
Our musical differences are like we're so
So
far
that-
Well,
apart.
and there's some of that, like the family camaraderie that goes into it. So, like, being good friends does not mean you're going to be good musicians together.
No,
Yeah.
that
And
doesn't
vice
mean
versa.
that.
And vice versa. Like we come in. There's I can not mention a project out now, but we come in, we do the thing, and then we don't do anything after that. Like there's nothing outside of music that we do.
Yeah.
But I don't think we'd be people that I would do things outside. It would kind of affect our music. So
Right. Yeah.
Won't
Absolutely. That's
mention
really
names.
cool that you guys got that connect like that. Like it's neat to hear the history of Faith in Nothing. That's pretty awesome.
And it's great, man. Like we're both very goal oriented. Which I mean, Faith in Nothing has only been a band for a couple of years, I think.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, I think I stumbled on you guys not long after you had kind of announced yourselves.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
hit you up for
is
the
this?
first...
I gotta ask though, officially, is this what you left Decade for?
No, actually. It
Yeah,
is-
you were.
it-
that
it-
was
it-
always
That was
just
my
for a
theory.
minute.
That was my theory.
So actually, when I quit Decade, little side note here.
Oh.
I didn't know what I was quitting for. I just knew that I didn't
I
want to
knew-
do covers.
I knew it was school.
That's fair.
I knew you had school was getting busy for you,
which
wasn't it?
I graduated.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations.
So,
Congratulations.
Congrats. But I
Thank
knew
you.
original music was your thing, and when I realized you were at this project, I was like, oh, click. That's why he left. He wanted
Yeah,
to
well,
do
You
this.
graduated.
So-
Are we supposed to call him Dr. Wolf now?
Engineer.
Dr. Wolf.
Oh, so Dr. Wolf now.
You know what, dude? Whatever.
So,
Whatever you want to call me.
to help you out with your own lore that Chris has created for you. Chris has created the lore for you over a
Hey.
year plus that you left
It was pretty
because of this project.
It was about the
So-
same timing.
So
Yeah.
you can
That
use
wasn't
that
bad.
as your lore from this point forward because
Yeah.
he's put that out in the world for over a year now.
Only
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Only a year.
It's not like I'm talking about him everywhere I go, Mr.
I mean,
Wolf.
well, and also it's not like it's a
You know
bad
this
thing,
guy
like
that
this-
left the band right after I
son of a
started?
bitch. Yeah. No. It's I knew at the time that I wasn't, because it's like you, as everybody sitting in this room knows.
Yeah.
You put so much time into music, and you get so much out of it, and you get out what you put into it.
Right.
Yep.
I wasn't super fulfilled with doing covers, and at the time that I joined a cover band, it was because I didn't have anything else going on, and I was
Fair.
like, well, I still want to play, I don't want my
Yeah.
skills to atrophy or whatever.
It becomes
Right.
networking. It becomes performance, like you said.
Yep.
You're getting out there. You're getting staying,
and it's-
staying active.
And it's
And I think-
exposure and
Exposure.
Because exposure pays the bills.
no,
And
it
it's-
doesn't.
it's-
No, it doesn't.
Such horseshit.
It's chasing a different kind of like emotional gratification inside yourself too. You know what I
The
mean?
thing I think that
Like,
musicians understand is like there's loving your instrument a lot, and then there's loving writing songs. a lot.
exactly. And so like it's like flexing, like I,
I love
said,
all.
like
I love
different
all.
way.
So then there's
I will
those
say,
guys that
I
can do
personally
both,
feel like you
know?
love playing your instrument a little more than you do creating.
I'll
Let's
do
talk
creating.
about it.
I'm not saying you dislike creating.
I don't mind creating.
Now we
I didn't
got
say you
therapist
dislike
Wolf.
creating.
Therapist Wolf, Dr. Wolf now.
Mom and Dad are arguing.
Hashtag retake, buddy.
Mom and Dad
I
are
like creating.
arguing.
I like the creative process. There's
I
a
had
lot of work into
therapist
it.
with a mustache like that.
I
Dude,
will.
I'd never
So
could've gone.
to your point, and I'll
I
speak
feel
to my
like
other
I can
project.
Talk to you about anything.
My other project wanted to just keep writing, and I'm like, at some point, like you've got to put something out there that you're just not churning songs. That you want something that people, when they see you in May and they come back and see you in September, they're like, oh, I recognize that song. I
Right.
like that song,
Right.
and they latch onto it.
Need to write
If you're
the
constantly
earworm.
turning over your set list,
Well-
nobody's going to grab on to anything you're writing.
If
That's
you're
a great
constantly
insight.
writing and putting out new songs every show that
Yeah.
you're doing,
Yep.
nobody's going to catch on.
Yep.
People are going to not want to come see you.
It
because-
So
has to
that's
have
why the breaks were
enough
put on my other
longevity
project, if that's what you're alluding to.
that
No.
way that
No. I
people
was just
start
simply
to
stating
feel
because
it.
I know that you've numerous times talked. I just want to play.
Oh yeah,
So under that
for sure.
I'm
but
just
my
the
that's
drummer.
where. Let's sidebar. That's where. We're yanking the podcast.
Yeah.
No, that's where our writing style did differ at first because
Yes.
I,
All right,
I,
guys.
I don't
Let's just all hug.
as a drummer.
Thank you, Dr.
I'm
Wolf.
not-
Thank you,
I'm
Dr.
not-
yes.
I
Thank you.
recognize my role as timekeeper, but I also tried to be instrumental with
Yes.
what I'm writing. And so, like, you've got to get your part in there before I'm even going to like listen to it because, like, for instance, the audition song.
Yes.
I never listened to the other drummer's part at all.
Yeah, all we wanted you to do was if
Yeah.
you accidentally wrote something,
Yeah.
because that was like the only rule when we were auditioning. So we had a track that we had already finished.
Clarity.
Yeah, Clarity, and we wanted to release it with whoever was going to be the new drummer. We didn't
Yeah.
want to release the original drum part. So the only trick was you need to audition with whatever you would write to it. But here's the original drummer. Make sure you didn't accidentally write.
Yeah,
But
we were
what
trying
they-
to
I
make
was
sure that
very
we were
active with Control
respecting
Yourself.
what the
I was
other
very.
drummer
I mean, I
wrote.
was very active with all the
Chris,
writing.
Chris,
He didn't
you're
get
very
any
active.
credit.
Sorry to
Right.
reach in front of you.
I was like,
I just had to give him some love. He felt like
Nobody
he
has
needed it. so.
ever disputed that you're a very active drummer.
yeah,
Yes.
I like it all.
Yes.
So
Wait,
just to
what?
segue into the
Hence
next.
his license plate.
Yeah.
Just to segue into the next question. With what you guys just said, what's your favorite experience so far, Dr. Wolfman?
Dr. Wolf.
Dr.
Oh,
Wolf,
my
man.
God.
Dr. Wolf, mother.
Favorite experience as far as what? Because I don't.
I-
I don't
as
think,
far as
I don't think
with-
with this podcast I can talk about my favorite.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. You know what? Let's clarify.
that's my license
What's your favorite experience so far
wait.
musically
This
with
might be a
this
hashtag
band?
retake.
No, it didn't trip.
Oh, okay.
So I think the highlight for me with this band has definitely been I think it was when we did our New Habit video.
Nice.
And that song because I'm a very meat and potatoes musician. It's like I don't really get off on like the videos,
The full
and-
storyboard that you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, that
and like that's
storyboard
just
is
not
fun.
really my thing. And like we went into the New Habit video, and like Charlie had like a really like defined vision
Yeah.
of what he wanted to do with
Yeah,
that.
what
I
a great
wanted to
video
kick
too.
the living
Yeah.
piss out of Austin.
and we did. Yes.
I will say this.
Austin, we hope you're not watching.
Yeah, we love you,
There's
man.
some passive aggressiveness here.
So
Make
I
sure
will-
it's
so unfair
sent
'cause
over.
He wants you to know your role.
Yeah.
So I will say that though, because of that video is what got my attention to actually hit you guys up.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it did its job
yeah.
of getting people's attention.
And that was exactly what it was designed for. And
Yep.
I didn't like full disclosure. I did not have. I wasn't able to grasp that.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
and so like actually like seeing that whole thing come together, and like I knew the song was good. The song's great.
Yeah,
It
but
is,
then
you know?
seeing the final product of the
Yeah, and then, like,
visual.
seeing how it all
and-
went together.
I didn't sign up
Yeah.
as an actor.
But you guys are great. It was
I
fun.
just
know
play
you
drums,
killed
man.
it.
I'm not good.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
so
actually
hard
honestly
because he shows
my
up
next
with
goal.
The big mustache and suspenders in a Louisville Slugger, and it's like it looks like you've been working on this like character.
I show up looking like a dickhead with a baseball bat.
Right, yeah,
You know, it's like
I
whatever.
mean,
dude.
it was so perfect.
Come,
but-
come
That's
to
awesome.
find out, he's a big D&D nerd, so he
What?
the role play
Yes.
aspect of
Massive
things.
D&D
So.
nerd.
Let's
Same.
go. Same.
so
it's like half
That
of the
shot
world
of
in
him
music.
just, like, pulling his suspenders back.
I will have to
Put
tell
in
you about
so
my
many
character that pisses
reels.
everyone off.
I would love to hear.
Yes,
Oh,
my character
yeah.
that Chad's like, yes, his character
But,
pisses everyone off.
but yeah, I would say generally that was my favorite moment with this band so far, which is important to say so
Hell
far because
yeah.
we're
Yes.
not done.
Nice.
Fair, yes, absolutely.
But definitely
Yeah.
like seeing the way that came together and like seeing the response that we got out of it, and
Yeah.
it's very that's what we all do it for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Super
So-
cool.
All right.
All right,
How
Charlie.
about you?
What was the question?
Favorite experience.
You
so
asked it. What are you
far.
talking
No,
about?
it's not.
Throw in the voice.
I gotta echo what he's saying, like not just for that particular experience, 'cause that's really cool, and I'm really proud of that one. But like the way we as a band have been able to work as a team and like go, hey, we want to do this and actually do it. Actually pull it together and go, okay, let's sit and talk about what we want this to look like. We don't want to reach so far that we don't really land what we're trying to do. We want to do like keep it simple enough to where it makes sense.
Yeah.
And we can pull it off with the amount of resources.
It's
we
it's
have.
really
Right.
easy to be a room full of talking heads. It really is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like to actually go, hey, we're going to take this seriously, and if it's not good enough, we're going to trash it.
Yeah.
You might spend 15 hours working on this thing and go, nope, it doesn't work.
Yep.
Having a high standard and like working together well is a super big highlight for me. But favorite experience so far, your birthday show at Pierre's.
Oh, nice.
When we
Thanks.
got to play a show for like
That was so much fun to throw down. dude.
Yeah.
for
That was so good. You
400-500
guys
people
killed
in
it,
Stan's
man.
room.
That
That
was-
was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah,
Nice.
you guys
I'm
got
hoping
that.
to do it up
We were
bigger, so
excited.
we'll see.
And yeah, that room was like rocking. That was like, it is such a difficult thing. Like in 2024, with everybody's attention spans
Yeah.
being short and everybody wants to look
To
at their
try to
phone,
get people out.
to try and get 500-800 people, however many people were there, out to a show that's local bands and tribute bands.
I will say I was super disappointed I did not get the chance to see your performance. I trusted you guys. I knew you guys would knock it out of the park.
Dude, it was
but
so
because
good.
of the way it was layered,
It was such
Yeah.
a good show.
your performance
Don't
and
worry, Chris. I saw it.
and
I saw it. It was great.
yeah,
Were
Voice
we
of
the
Silence.
only
Missed
band
out.
you didn't play in that
I
night?
missed. You know, I was actually asked if next
Like
year if TKB
3
was joining. I'm like, no.
5 bands now. You want to start a band? Hey, Chris, I'm looking
Wanna
for
start
a drummer.
band of your band.
I was. Hey, though seriously, I want to start an industrial band.
Sweet.
So I can just push buttons and turn knobs. Is that all I have to do?
Because you got another
sounds
drum
good.
set.
No, so Jeff, what we're gonna do, because apparently Chris has a network
Oh, yeah.
for tributes only.
Oh, right.
We're gonna be a
Okay.
tribute of Controller going forward.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
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 That's
Can
like
I play the harmonica?
That's some Inception shit.
You guys are about to play the Coliseum now.
Sweet.
Hey, we all have goals.
Real goals.
Real goals.
So
No, that particular
thank you.
show actually gave me a ton of respect for you guys as a band.
Oh, right on.
'Cause
thank you.
It really showcased everybody's strong points. Where like, all right, there's people that know how to like promote in this band, people that know how to write and produce their music. There's people that know how to run a show and be a promoter. There's and just like Jeff's personality is a massive asset to the
Oh.
band.
Agreed.
Every
It's like
time I
you
see
guys
this
are
dude, I
doing all the
smile from
real
ear to
work,
ear.
and I'm just that guy that talks a lot. That everybody's like, "Hey, he's funny."
But dude, having people in your band that you're like just excited to see them and give them a big hug is also a massive.
Yeah, it's
asset.
huge, dude.
We
I
played a
won't
show with a
lie,
band that exactly
I
like
feel
that, like a
hella
mirror
lucky.
image of us. Who
Just,
was
Yeah.
just the fact that you guys like the professionalism aspect of it is something that's like
Aw.
severely underrated.
Every
Well, thank
single
you.
that
one
they
of
are
his.
able to link up with a band that knows
Take
how
it
to put on a show, that is
serious.
able to put a schedule together that is actually adhered to.
oh, here's a
The
DOS.
more we
It's
play
the
with-
DOS.
Yeah, here's the deal. That's
Because all of us have played shitty shows.
Oh, yeah.
Get there
Oh, yeah.
and everybody's all shoulders. Everybody's like, oh,
So-
I don't know
Yeah,
what's
the more
going
we
on.
do stuff
Right.
with you guys, the more like, hey, we want to be like those guys.
So,
We want to be a joke. We want to
Exactly.
do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
so I think,
100%.
I
we've
think
been a
for
part
us,
of those
Mom, I
shows that
think
you
my
refer
heart grew
to.
2 sizes
where there's-
today.
all right, Grinch.
We've been a part of those shows where we walked in and the DOS was sent 2 days prior.
Right.
You show up and the person that wrote the DOS isn't there. The band that's supposed to be in your show is like, I don't know what's going on. Their thumbs up their butt. And the front of house guy is like, hey, I was just told to do this show and show up. And so there's a huddle of people,
Right.
and none of them are taking
And
charge.
nobody knows
Yeah.
what's going on, and
Right.
everybody wants to do
And
a
it's
shot.
even worse when you're
Yeah.
You look like a
So we just
bookie
gonna
up
do a
there
shot,
taking
you know?
tickets and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And then Austin felt so dumb because he was like, oh yeah, I sold this many tickets, yeah, and we were like,
Oh.
sold out. But
Oh,
he-
when we were up in
he
the green
didn't-
room.
he didn't understand like they already had their tickets, so they didn't need to be will called.
I love you guys, but that was like I was almost gonna be like, you know what, just here you go. Whatever happened.
It's one of those things. That,
And
like,
we
oh,
would-
I was like, do you feel like you got paid well? Do you feel like you
Yeah.
got your compensation good? Because I will sort things out back here.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you don't feel like, because there's money involved.
Yeah.
Because at the end of it is business, and I want
Yeah.
to make sure you don't feel like
Realistic.
he ripped me off $20, $200,
Just
whatever.
'cause
I think Austin was
My
intimidated
ADHD is
'cause
kicking
you were
in.
up
I
there
feel like
with
I'm
a
compensating.
Visor, and you look like a
kid's
fucking-
bigger.
Dude, you were like the last
He's gonna
band.
burn my house.
They
down
were
if
like
I
the
don't
last.
get these tickets.
They were the last band, so I'm sitting there with like maybe $2K to pay off the,
I mean,
the
keep
venue.
that energy, but
Oh.
still.
Yeah,
No,
no.
you guys did a great job. It was just.
Shit.
Aw.
it was-
Yeah,
it was-
because
it
at
was
that
a
point in
learning
time,
moment.
I'm looking at you like, all right, what do we need to do?
Okay,
You're like,
so-
I don't know anymore.
Mental note: I will keep that off the table in a lockbox so as not to scare
yeah.
whoever I'm dealing with. Or maybe I'll just put a Glock
Put
next
the
to it
visor
next time.
on. The visor's good.
No, I'll put a Glock on the table next time.
Put a
Ah, you
Glock
got
on
your
the
money?
Dude,
He's
pull
gonna
it out
start
and
setting
show
up like
them.
Scarface and
Yep.
You know?
He's
All
gonna
right,
put on his
you're
hat.
10 tickets short. That's $50.
That's right.
So
You either got money or you got a mouth.
All right, we got to have Mr. Wolf standing
Oh,
next to him
no.
with the baseball bat.
Oh no!
Hashtag replay.
Wait, I didn't hear the F-bomb, but I heard the joke.
yeah. So all right, this kind of segues because of his intimidation. So not either one of yours. Apparently, that was one of his. But what has been the biggest obstacle so far of doing the music thing?
Oh man, I mean, recently definitely the lineup change
Yeah.
that we just had. When we first started, Charlie was doing songs with the vocalist Austin, and I was actually trying to write songs with our old guitar player.
Okay.
And we moved back. He was living in Florida, and he moved back to Fort Wayne.
Okay.
And so, like, him and I were getting together and jamming. And
Okay.
then we actually had another guitar player lined up, and he bailed. So I called Charlie, and I was like, "Oh,
I didn't know I was your second choice.
Oh.
This podcast sometimes
is there another Hug It Out
reveals
moment?
things.
We might have to get the table out of the
He
way.
wanted, like we said, he wanted to make sure the friendship always stayed intact.
listen, dude, we'll make out about it later."
Okay.
But,
Nice.
So
Somebody owes somebody lobster. Anyway.
had Charlie come play, and like Charlie knew a drummer, and like everything just really fell together very well, which is rare. Obviously, you guys have all been doing this for a long
Especially
time,
with the drummer.
yeah, and everything just really worked out. And then all of a sudden, like interest changed,
Right.
and people weren't as available as what they were.
Yeah.
So like we had this massive shift in our sound and how we were going to approach things, and we got a new drummer and all that stuff, and like I really feel like we're coming out of it
Nice.
better than what we were going into it. So
That's
By
what you always
far.
hope
So
for.
the
We didn't stumble across that because when a couple guys left, me and Ryan sat down for a beer going, where do we go from here? And we both said the same thing of, we're going to be a better band because
Yeah.
of this. And that's not like we think maybe, no, we're going to do that.
That was your goal.
We're going to be a better
Yeah.
band or we're not going to be a band.
And
Yeah.
and that's the goal. And no disrespect to any former members of any band, but that's the goal, regardless of who the lineup is to always improve. To take
course.
take whatever comes at you and just build better.
Yeah, we're only bringing in people that raise the level. That raise the bar.
Naruto today better than yesterday. I learned it from this guy in green like tights. It was awesome.
There were a couple of bassists that I actually for TKB when we lost our first bassist, we pretty much said, sure, we'll audition you. And we just didn't because we knew they weren't going to be a good fit. They weren't going to elevate our sound. They would take our sound some way different that we weren't even going to acknowledge. So there is that.
yeah, so
And for sure, like, and some of those guys, they might get to the level where they're good. And if they do, like, don't be afraid to showcase it.
I mean-
like, you want to find people that, like, are good and holding themselves to a higher standard and going, okay, I'm at this level. I want to find a band where I'm with like people. So they should be posting, like, post you playing songs or what you're writing. Find a way to market yourself if you're one of those guys trying to get to a higher level and, like, get in a band with other guys. Because those guys are out there that you just don't know about.
Correct.
There's, like, probably 50 guitar players in Fort Wayne that would be a great fit for Faith in Nothing
Yeah.
that I don't even know they exist.
Right.
Thank you, Sweetwater.
yeah. So
Yeah, and Fort
No, that
Wayne's
was a
an
joke.
anomaly for that though, because
town, yeah.
because of Sweetwater, and I will put that.
we
out
have a
there.
high import rate.
Yeah, and we have an.
perfect.
Well, and
Yes.
it's also it speaks to what you said, the dedication and being able to like fit with what you guys are doing and being available and being able to move the needle forward, so to speak. There are a lot of musicians, there are a lot of drummers in Fort Wayne, believe it or not. But finding people that are committed to the project and committed to, like, not just showing up and playing and going home,
Right.
and being a part of the family and being part of the unit as a whole.
And especially like if you're a band that's in circumstances like we are, where you have aspirations and people expecting you to do some type of touring.
Right.
That's a whole other skill set and level of expectation that you have to
So
Yeah,
next
kind
year
of
we're
ask
dragging
for-
you
Yeah,
guys
that's
with.
event planning and hospitality. That's
Yeah.
a whole
Yeah.
degree.
Yeah.
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 So
that-
next year we're dragging y'all with us.
Oh,
The Faith and Controller tour.
Faith and control.
Controlling your faith. Control your faith.
Nothing tour.
Control.
Controlling nothing. I love it.
Control
Yeah,
nothing.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm cool with
Honestly,
it.
with the way that the tours feel sometimes when I'm dealing with promoters,
You know what?
Oh, yeah.
that's what it feels like.
DIY, whatever.
Yeah.
Faith.
All right.
Oh
so
my god.
for someone starting out, what
Can I cut
would
you off? I didn't get to answer that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, Chad, how could you?
I've been thinking about this. I have things to say.
Pay attention.
he's got
You've
a
given me a
different
soapbox, and I will stand
Everybody
on it.
stop. Charlie's got something.
Charlie.
Okay. Quiet now. Quiet now.
All right,
Charlie
can
bit
restate
you.
the question?
Shut up, Bob.
You repeat the question.
biggest obstacle in your
In your art.
Biggest obstacle in our art, I feel like, is getting the culture right. Because
Yeah.
if you have a group of 5 guys in the room, and 3 of them are there on time, showing up ready, and it takes one guy consistently not showing up on time to make everybody else in the room question if this is worth their time or not because it's being
Thank you for owning it, Bob.
I can speak to that too.
I used to be that guy.
Being as busy as I am, like my time, like they say, time is money, time is valuable. Literally, man, I've got every minute of my day, 7 days a week, is planned
Zero
out.
margin. Yeah.
And so, like when I was being late, I'm like sweating bullets, going, "I'm never late. I'm always here on time."
Yeah,
like
but
I
at the
know.
same time, I'm like, thumbs up reaction. You're good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Everything's all right.
if you text us and say you're running 15 minutes behind, fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
If you're
if
gonna show up 45
if it's a
minutes
standard
late, that's
every
something.
Yeah.
Tuesday, you're going to rehearse at 6:30, and it's
Yeah.
always 7:30 before the first note is strung.
Right.
Yeah, so
That's a problem.
from the beginning with our band, we just went, hey, the things that break bands up quicker than anything, stupidly, are not respecting each other's times and not
Yeah.
respecting each other's ideas.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
show up on time. If you got something that comes up, let us know as soon
Yeah.
as you know.
Yeah, yeah, and
No
like-
big
But
deal.
other than that, we have 2 hours a week
Right.
to get this done.
Right.
Yeah,
So
That is
show,
us.
Wow,
So
yeah.
show up with your amp on.
Yeah.
Show up with some riffs and less work.
Yeah, like
this is what we're gonna
know
do.
what
If
you
somebody
want to
else
work
has
on.
an idea, hear it out.
Yeah.
Try it.
Yep.
And especially if somebody comes up with a song and you're like, I don't know about it, dude. How many songs have you not known about?
And then
until
it
the
turned
first time
into
you played it
something-
live, and you went,
exactly.
oh, yeah, a bunch of people love this song. We should keep playing it.
Right.
Well, and
Get behind it and see how it turns out, and then criticize after you're done writing.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
the
at
way
least
we
giving
phrased
it a
it-
shot.
yeah, and the way
Yeah.
we phrase it is once the group is together, that's rehearsal.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not practice.
Yeah. Practice is
Practice
what
is-
you do on your own.
We don't have the time anymore, especially us geriatrics. We don't have the time anymore
God, I
to
hear
have the availability for it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
honestly, if we have that 2-hour window on Sundays, we got shows that are already booked. We
Right.
don't have time to figure out your part.
Well, that was another reason why I was like, I thought we were rehearsing tonight.
Yeah, I know. We got one rehearsal. That's fine.
Sorry to let you down.
I mean, to be fair, we did go out on a little tour
I
like
mean, the
a
kid's
month
right
ago.
over there, dude.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right.
But I
Hop
mean,
on.
I got my ears.
your perspective and mine aren't too different. I use a little bit of a different vernacular on it. Is mine is all the personalities have to click,
Yeah.
because honestly, if you're in a completely different mindset, I've found out of all, because everybody here, other than him, I've been in a different project with at one point, and I literally did okay, you're going to be in it, you're going to be in it, you're going to be in it, as the years have gone on.
Yeah. When he
And-
came back from Georgia, I pretty much like grabbed him and was like, "All right, let's start a band."
Well, that's also kind of how you plucked me too, is
Yeah.
by watching me as an outsider.
Yep.
And at first, I did turn this project down. I was like, I'm too busy. I got too much going on. TKV was doing 50, 60 shows a year, and I
Yeah.
was like, I'm not going to be able to fit it in. And look at me now.
Well, that was when
But-
Chad came in and was like, so when
Yeah.
you're going to take your place behind our drum set?
But that's the thing, though, is I think it was more than just the fact that I was a drummer. It was more the fact that, like, I could probably do the parts, but
He was already
we were friends, and we were
yeah.
able to
Yeah.
Yep.
bounce ideas professionally
Yeah.
outside of this before you even considered me. We
I
were
had
we were
already-
talking on a professional level.
I had
so.
already worked
That
with
we
him
were
on
already
booking
drinking together.
shows.
Hey.
I had already worked with him on booking shows. I knew his vernacular. I agreed with it. I knew the way that he approached shows, his professionalism. I'm like, this makes the most sense that I can think of. And he was already my friend.
They almost didn't hire me though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Yes, it was up between you and somebody else.
Yes, but it was my
a close
skills.
Well, at least we didn't have consider either you or the air drummer. So
Either way, we're not derailing this too much more. But yeah, I mean, but to give you context, yes, where you're at and where I'm at, I think honestly we're about the same spot as far as what we expect out of the rest of the group, if you will, and everything. Because
And
if
having
everybody
a level of expectation
Yeah.
brings the best out of everybody in
Yep.
the room.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, because
That's a
then
good take.
there's
I
no
like that.
then there's no question of what you're doing there. You know,
Right.
like you're not wasting your
Well,
time.
it's work,
yeah.
so
and it
And
really
the older
is.
you get, the more valuable your
You,
time
you
is.
don't go into your office setting or your business setting thinking that you're just going to slack off and everybody around you is going to be okay with it. Like you go in there knowing you have a job to do.
You don't.
Dr. Wolf,
Dr. Wolf.
Dr. Wolf, man.
Dr. Wolf,
Dr.
listen.
Wolf is Dr.
40 hours a
Feelgood
week,
now.
baby. Why, you know?
Dr. Wolf may have lost his job today.
No, but
Why-
people are taking time away from their kids, man. Like, you should bring your best, or
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
don't
Nope.
ask them to do that.
Yeah, like,
100%.
or just even you're taking their time away from doing whatever else they would rather
To make it
be doing.
worthwhile.
Make it
What
worth
other
their
band
time.
I could rehearse for instead of this one?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
it's podcast day. That's not my fault that you misinterpreted that.
All right. All right. Now,
All right.
Now, Chad.
Now, Chad, it's okay now.
for someone new, pros and cons. Any advice?
This could be new to the instrument, new to the band thing.
New to
Yeah,
music
new
in
to the
general.
Your
scene.
dealer's
Production.
choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Don't start a band.
No, I don't know.
One word, debt.
yeah.
Particularly
That is a
to
con.
somebody that would start trying to play bass is
No, everybody's going to hit you up and ask for you to be in a band.
because there's not a lot of us that
Yeah.
are.
There's not. Yeah.
So guitar players and vocalists, dime a dozen.
He tells me
Drums and bass
I am
players.
not allowed.
Hold
to
on, hold
leave.
on. Guitarist and vocalist, dime a dozen. Good ones.
Correct.
And I'm not even saying I'm a good one.
See, look,
Okay,
check it,
I-
check
no,
it
I'm
out.
good-
That's
because
why
I saw
have
Steve's
to
face.
I'm not
I'm not
good
even-
at it at all, but I still stick out. It's
Yeah.
fine.
But yeah.
So yeah, as a bass player, you were saying.
I would say buy a P bass
Nah.
and be open-minded.
Hmm.
Learn how to play with a pick and fingerstyle. Don't be an elitist about it.
True.
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
Well, and that goes back to everything
I
we've been
never
talking about
rejected pick.
with
I used to
production,
play
like being
before I
open-minded
got with
to
you guys.
all everything, because there's all sorts of things you could do stylistically that if you're closed-minded about how you do it, it's not going to open you up to
Yeah.
writing processes. It's
just
not going to open to you
slap, I
performing.
don't play.
All you're doing is hamstringing yourself by not being open to different things.
Yeah.
And
Giving it a shot.
also quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just quit. Just don't do it anymore.
No one to hold them, no one to fold them, no one
There's
to walk
nothing
away.
but sorrow.
Oh no.
I'm kidding.
It's the bass, it's the
Anyway.
bass player.
The
like,
biggest of highs, the biggest of
The
lows.
people that don't quit when they hear that are the ones that belong in the club.
There you go.
That is
Yeah.
true.
All right, so how about you?
Yeah. Yeah. So what
Pros
is
and cons?
yeah
Pros
the
and
biggest
cons.
pros, the biggest cons?
It's hard to like come up with a list because it's just one of those things of like there's a lot of cons.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we're
If you start-
talking about the biggest, not a list, just the biggest
But
everything.
that you would consider that maybe affected you or affected
the cons were never enough to ever get me to stop.
There you go.
obviously,
Nice.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Well, that's why we're all here.
And that's the
Yep.
thing that weighs into it is like the slogan from Guitar Center at one point. They had the best tagline ever for selling music gear. They said, "All we sell is the best feeling on earth."
I don't remember that, and I work there.
Yeah.
So,
I do.
and that's
I
the
remember
thing is
that.
like there's people that play in a band and get going on it and get going with music, and they play some shows and they're like, this is cool. If it's just this is cool, then like you'll do it for a while and you'll probably stop.
Yeah.
But then there's those of us that like you get on stage and it's like, oh, people go, oh, well you seem like a different person. It's just like you don't know like the deep
Yeah.
down me because that's it. Like this
Yeah.
is a part
Yep.
of my personality that never gets to show except when I'm on stage putting on a show. So it's like the cons mean absolutely nothing. Like, yeah, loading up gear and paying for things, yada, 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 sure, that sucks. but getting on stage is the thing that like keeps me happy with who I am and happy with where I'm at in my life.
I am in the same boat. My biggest
Yeah.
pro to being in the band is the performance.
I get to show all 5 of my personalities.
It doesn't mean anything. Loading gear in and out doesn't mean anything
No,
until you
it
have to load out an 810 amp peg.
Oh.
What, on the stairs?
Oh wait, no,
To the glory
hold on.
hub.
Sound
Yeah.
great is worth it.
Yeah,
Glory
it
hub.
sucks.
2 flights of stairs.
The flight of stairs when we were
Over at the
in-
loft?
No, no.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
sure.
loft.
Oh, are you talking
Oh.
the one in Chicago?
Oh.
The basement one?
Oh,
Hold
yeah,
on, hold on.
basement one's rough.
Basement.
Any
I don't know.
stairs suck,
Shiner
really.
Saloon was pretty rough.
Oh, that one I think
What?
gave Chris a hernia.
I
Yeah,
think
that-
you all
that-
forget about the Glory Hub. I said that
No.
twice now.
Dude,
Yeah, no,
I will do
that's
Shiners
twice.
any day because Shiners had a wide enough staircase we
Yeah.
can go up and down it.
This is true.
Not the Glory Hub. You
Yeah.
were hoofing it. Try
Yeah.
not to clip your shins going up and down.
Yeah,
So-
you can only carry like one cymbal stand at a
Oh
time
my
up that
god!
staircase.
Shiners was wide enough we could.
Yeah, but we never tried to
Brace with
carry
the
a
banister.
300-plus pound case up the Glory Hub staircase.
I think the hernia was before that.
I
It was
don't,
disaster
I don't
baby.
remember playing Glory Hub at all.
Yeah, I barely
The
remember.
vibe.
It was
what are they
probably
called? The
presented
No,
vibe?
it's
to you
you're
as the
thinking
glory
one of the
hole.
same.
Yeah.
I know
The
it changed
door lady
names. You
hated
guys
me
never did.
because
Nope.
she'd always hear me say it.
No, we were booked and
Well-
they
Don't
closed.
call it the glory hub and expect us not to call it the glory hole.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I was so impressed that he kept calling it the correct name during
Yeah.
all of this.
So really,
I got yelled at so many times
I had
by
a
the
lot of-
people that ran the place because I would say the glory hole, and they're like,
asked
"It's
him why
the
he named it
glory
that."
hub."
It was awesome because it was a religion based.
Yeah, it was. It was,
Yeah.
it was Christian based.
so I'm going to throw a curveball.
Glory.
All right, so ready? If you could be any Disney princess, which one would you be, Charlie, and why?
100%. I'm a ginger. I stick with my ginger people.
You said who?
Ariel.
Ariel?
Be
Okay.
a mermaid.
Well, but why?
Nice.
But why?
Cute as hell mermaid.
Oh, that's fair.
just
That's
said-
hot, and like just lay out in the sun and just sexiness.
God.
That's
I was
fair.
like
Would you?
I was like 6 years old. And like, I just want to live in the sea with her.
Right. No. Would you wear the seashell bra, or would you?
I had to.
If you have to, or would
it be
you
a
like free
seashell
ball?
cup?
Get a boob job too.
No, I mean if
Would
you
it just
want.
be a seashell cup at that point?
Yeah, I was going to say a seashell
Yeah.
jockstrap.
I don't know. Like the mermaid bottom starts.
That's true.
I mean that's
Dude,
fair.
He's thought about this.
So like, I think you inseminate the way fish do.
It's first of the hot seat.
Yeah,
question.
I mean, fair. Okay.
This is
Apparently, we
first
moved on to the
one
hot
of
seat
your
questions.
seat.
First of
All
the
right, so
hot
Wolfman,
seat
I'm going to switch it up.
You probably should.
Disney Prince.
probably
Which one would you be?
I mean, gotta be Aladdin, right?
Well, right. I mean, you're going to show the ladies the world. Is that what it is?
Do you know her name?
He's broke,
Okay.
but like that doesn't
Princess.
stop him, dude.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can
Just
respect
feel
that.
that.
Yeah,
No, he
I
said
feel
Prince.
that.
Is it?
He said Prince.
Yeah, I
he
said
said
Prince for
Prince.
him.
He said Princess. to me, Prince to him.
It's because you're.
You
know
got
what?
the beard, Charlie. You've got the beard.
What is this? Hey, Charlie.
You're framing ginger.
He said I'm going to switch it up.
You're framing
Hey, Charlie.
ginger.
Aladdin? You mean Jasmine? No, he gets to be Aladdin. What?
Hey,
So anyway, let's cry later.
Could have been Shere Khan. He could have been a panther.
oh my God.
We can
So, all right, we are moving on because Bob decided to jump into the hot take questions.
did.
That was first one.
right,
Go ahead and
so-
pick your first number 1 through 20.
So we'll do 3 of
Pick
each
a
of them.
number. Yeah, we'll do
One of you guys pick 1 through 20.
I'm sorry, you had me tearing up, dude.
What if I have to pee really bad? Can
Tied
you
in
pick
or not?
one? And
Dude,
it's
just
not long enough.
I feel your pain.
be a person and just hang on. For the next.
We've got like
do
5
this.
minutes.
Just pretend like you're at the
5
BMP.
5 minutes.
18. Give me 18.
We're expediting.
So
We're
be
not at
confused.
Number 18.
Number 18.
Somebody
Here we
give
go.
me
Bob.
18.
So 18, sorry.
Here we go.
Have you ever mistaken someone else for a fellow celebrity?
Yeah, so you're a celebrity now.
No. Have you ever saw somebody on the street and go, "Oh, that's John Travolta"? That type of crap.
Not John Travolta,
No.
but there's a guy at the rail that really hates me because I always think he's John Tack, and I'm like, "Hey, John Tack, how you doing?" He's like, "I'm not John Tack. Quit doing that."
Do you at least know his real name by now, though?
No,
Oh, dude.
Are you
I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone.
Charlie, are you officially trying not to find out his name so that way you can just keep calling him John Tack?
No, I've quit addressing anyone that looks anything like John Tack to avoid the embarrassment.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, that's fair.
How about you? Have you ever seen anybody that you thought was a celebrity that actually wasn't?
No.
Okay, fair.
Fair.
All right, so you get to pick the next number, 1 through 20.
11.
Suppose one of your movie characters came to life. Which one would it be?
So Aladdin?
So apparently,
Wow, we've hit like all
it's
the
like all
celebrity
movie.
questions
Yeah,
here.
go down to the next.
I was gonna say, I guess I don't
Let's
understand
scoot.
the
Let's
question.
scoot to the next.
The next 11.
The next
Okay.
11.
What late night snack do you crave that others might find quirky?
Oh, pork rinds, dude.
Yeah,
Dude,
Spicy
Yeah.
pork
no,
rinds.
right there, yeah.
Do you do the vinegar dip at all?
That sounds repulsive.
No.
I'm not gonna lie
Thank
to
you,
you. That
thank
sounds
you.
horrible.
Oh
That's
my
my road
goodness.
trip snack when
How
I go
about you?
myself.
What's your weird late night snack?
Oh, weird late, dude. I smash Oreos. It's not
Nice.
Weird. Dude, Oreos are the
That's not
best.
weird.
Nice.
Like-
With milk, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, that,
You know
dude,
something with
that-
Oreos that my kid taught me that's like next level.
What's
Nut-
this?
Nutter butters are better.
He
Oh,
puts
EL fudge.
several Oreos in a cup.
A bunch of the shit because you
Pours
can
a
set
little
them
bit of
up
milk.
like a whole village. You're just a monster eating all the villagers. I love that shit.
Wait, say that again. I don't have
EL
ears on.
fudge
Like,
cookies. They're little elves, and you can set them up vertical. And if they're double stuffed, then they're like little fat elves.
So the question isn't what weird snack, but in what weird way do you eat it?
I was going to say, there you go.
It's the village of EL fudge cookies.
the village of eel. I'm gonna have to start doing this now,
Oh,
Charlie.
All right, so
That's
it's not
pretty
weird
great.
snack, but I do like the re-angling.
It
Well
goes-
done.
It goes great with herbal supplements if
Oh
you
my-
know what I'm talking
fragrance.
about.
Yes,
There you
absolutely.
go. Yes, it
All
does.
right, 1 through 20, Charlie.
7. The Lord's number.
Scroll all the way down to the next 7.
Do you believe in any conspiracy theories? If so, which one's your
Oh hell
favorite?
no! We're skip that. We're already off the rails today.
Yeah.
Pick another 7.
I don't think you guys want to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So have you guys heard about
In this 4-part episode, we
Yeah.
discuss.
In this 4-part podcast.
Nancy Pelosi is an alien.
Come on, Chad.
Probably is.
Where you at, Chad?
Prove
Hey,
me wrong.
hey, I'm trying. Okay, guys, keep on turning the questions away.
All right, I like a regular hot seat question. Your pizza, thin crust or thick?
There we go.
Thin.
Thick.
Wow.
All right,
Whoa.
what type of
Stuffed, if I may.
That-
Ooh,
nice.
I was going to say, I was about to follow it up.
There you
Okay,
go.
what type of thick crust?
I like
Are we talking deep dish? Are we talking pan?
And from where?
Chicago
Fluffy
style?
or stuffed?
From where?
From where?
Not everybody does a good
Ooh.
stuffed crust.
So I mean, if it's gonna be just a chain, then like Pizza Hut.
No, like you can anywhere, wherever. Where would you recommend a good stuffed crust, baby?
I don't know about stuff, but like if I like my actual like legit favorite pizza ever is the Sir Pizza I grew up down the road from in Michigan. It's Pizza King down here. But Sir Pizza was much more affordable in
Yeah.
the 90s.
for sure.
Pizza King now is a bit out of my price range. As I
And
am
it's still not
a
even
doctor
luxury.
or
That's,
a
that's a
lawyer.
funny
That's
thing.
that is fair.
I pay
Actually.
$35 for a pizza.
Well, and not to mention their cheese always falls off.
right.
Well, half your toppings
Take
roll
it
off because
back.
they're all like.
Take it back.
I'm sorry,
You
but
take
with
it
Pizza King, it's the truth, dude. I've ordered it 4 times.
What
Every
about you,
time I
Rick?
take a piece and it just
Mis-
slides.
Mr. Wolf, where are you
Little
getting your thin
spray.
crust pizza from?
Pizza Hut.
Pizza. Hut?
Yeah.
Yep. Pizza Hut thin crust. You get the 3 toppings for $11.99.
That's
Oh.
awesome.
Pepperoni, sausage, and jalapenos.
Oh, nice.
Now
Nice.
they used to have a
Thin
weird
crust.
marinara sauce that I did not like. It was like super sugar.
And
Don't-
now here's the coolest thing about that pizza is you get it and you eat half of it and then the next morning you shit your guts out.
Nice. So don't
the
sleep on the
jalapenos.
combo of sausage, pineapple, and mushroom, along with jalapenos.
I don't
My
wanna-
wife will do green olives and pineapple.
Wow,
I
that's
don't
wild.
want to open up a can of worms, but I can't do the pineapple.
Right, see,
No.
it's
I don't
not for
wanna open
everybody.
up a
See, here's the
can of
thing.
pineapple.
I don't
You don't
I don't
open up a
get
can of
butthurt.
pineapples
It's not for
and they
everybody.
can't do the
So
pineapple.
that's the way I look at it.
Now, see, I love thin crust, but my preferred thin crust is from Domino's.
Eh,
Oh,
eh.
See, I got to stick to my hometown roots. I'm Detroit style.
you
see-
get it. You get it. I love the pizza Hut, no matter what kind. You get the cheesy Alfredo sauce, and then
That's
like extra cheese, and it becomes like a
not okay.
cheese bread.
Everybody up here hates.
You get Alfredo sauce?
It's like a
Yeah.
cheesy Alfredo sauce. It's not actually Alfredo sauce.
See, everybody hates where I like to order
Alfredo
from, which is
light
Hungry
sauce.
Howie's.
Yeah.
It's a
white
Everybody,
sauce.
everybody hates Hungry Howie's up here, and I grew up with that.
I love
Hungry
Hungry
Howie's.
Didn't they start the flavored crust up here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. Flavor. Well, they're more prominent where I grew up and was born.
Pizza Hut tried
Because
that.
Florida, it's huge in Florida. Hungry Howie's is
Even though it was started
everywhere.
in Detroit.
I know. No, I'm just saying,
thin
like
crust myself.
legit,
Man,
but
I'm
it's
getting
more
hungry for some
prominent
pizza,
in
though.
I
Florida.
prefer thin
So
crust myself.
Little Caesars
but
has
I
these
have
little
no,
cheese
like,
puffs now. They're like
absolute,
little
like,
muffin
this is
dish
the best.
pizzas.
Yeah, I've heard about them. I haven't tried
Oh my
them.
gosh.
Oh
Right,
my
boys.
gosh.
That's like my craving lately. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go to a birthday party. What?
You guys,
Oh, another birthday
Well,
party.
well, since Charlie had to run, pick another.
Hold on.
We doing
no,
another
no,
number?
That was-
I found a legit number.
Oh,
7.
okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
let's do it.
Okay. Since you are kind of a gamer, this one might actually go pretty
Sure.
well. If your life was a video game, what Easter eggs would players find?
Oh, that's a good one.
Crippling insecurity.
I feel you. I feel you. I think that's most D&D players.
They stumble on it. All of a sudden, that's a new attribute. Like, oh no!
no.
I just found a collection.
I
of
worked so
key
hard.
bases.
They go, oh shit, I don't want anything.
I
to
don't
do
want
with
to. That's my collectible. No, no.
right.
Crippling
yeah,
insecurity.
nothing good.
Aw.
But thank you for the question.
You're gonna have to ask Charlie here in a second.
here-
And he's running back. He's like, I'm here.
I'm
here.
gonna trade now.
Well, go
That's
go
what
ahead,
happens.
I'm gonna do this.
That's what happens when you smash
Sorry,
a
guys,
case
I
of
got the
PBR
blender.
Oh,
during
now
the
you're going to
podcast.
go?
Here he comes with this orange beard.
It's an
All right, so ask the question again because I
Alright,
guarantee you missed it.
Yeah,
I
Charlie,
did. I
here
was
you
peeing.
go. If your life was a video game, what Easter eggs would players find?
Man, I'm not a gamer person, so I don't know how to answer this one.
Be
What
something you would have
Easter
to
eggs?
you would have to like you either see it as you're going or it's like a
What
side
little
question. Like,
secret-
oh,
what little secret thing
this is cool, and
would
then like,
be
oh
in
no.
the game if your life was a video game?
Well, I guess like when you go through like the map on like Call of Duty and there's like graffiti on the wall, there'd probably like be terrible drawings of like
Charlie's like the toddler graffiti. He's like, that's me. That's
there would be toddler graffitis of chickens and possums on the wall.
chickens, possums, and penis.
No, my first band, I really ticked them off when we were like 17 because they're like, "Hey, we need to get T-shirts." I was like, "Cool, I'll go get some T-shirts done." And no one bothered to design anything.
Oh, so there's no art. Just get the
Yeah,
T-shirts.
just get the T-shirts. And so,
so you
our
went to
t-shirt
Hobby Lobby
design
and
was
bought a
our-
whole bunch of blanks.
no, dude, it was our. I went to a bike shop that happened to make T-shirts for like sports teams, and they're like, "What do you want on the T-shirt?" It's like, "Oh, crap." So I like wrote our band name, and then I did a
Crap.
terrible drawing of a chicken.
And you sold out, didn't
So
you?
wait.
I still have friends that own this shirt.
So what was the name of the band then?
That's the
Oh,
Easter
God,
egg.
it's
It would
terrible.
be some NPC
terrible.
walking.
Is it relatable to
Wearing
chickens, or
that
you really
No,
just
not at all.
you're really just obsessed with chicken? That's
It was just nonsense. Is all it was.
I guess that's sometimes that's the best merch though.
Oh,
All right, boys,
seriously.
I got to get out of here.
Yeah. So the only other thing that we're going to throw out there then for you guys, what socials do you want to push? Yeah. What do you got
How can
coming
we
up?
find
What's your
you? and
socials?
What can we expect from you next?
I will leave that to Charles.
All right.
All right. All the
At
love to you.
Faith and Nothing Music on Instagram. I think we use that same handle for TikTok, for our Facebook. Yeah, Faith and Nothing Music. On YouTube, we're on there with some videos. Our Vivo channels. That's actually a big help. If you want a good tip, put your music videos on Vivo with
Yep.
DistroKid with like their music video distribution. It gets out
Yep.
a lot further than just putting it out yourself.
For sure.
That's a
Yep,
good tip.
we are YouTube, definitely the YouTube Vivo channel.
Yeah.
We're on Spotify, so if you have a streaming service, check
Perfect.
us out. We're there, and we will be live soon.
We will see you guys out soon. Yes, we're all excited about that.
A couple months away from dropping.
I was going to say this episode's coming out in June, so you guys might not be too far out from
Yeah.
about then.
Yeah.
Couple of months.
Yep.
Awesome.
Good. Good.
And one more time, what's the
I
video
wanna
that's
see
out
some
now?
More Faith in Nothing.
Our most recent one is New Habit.
New Habit.
So
Go
everybody,
check it out.
Faith
We-
in Nothing.
yeah.
New Habit.
we have shared it around a few times, but we will definitely be linking that in the comment section below on this on this post. So everybody, thank everybody.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Thank
Love
you.
your faces.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you
us,
guys
man.
so
Oh, this
much
was
for
fun.
having
Not
us
a
out.
problem.
This was
We
a
were
great
happy.
time. I really appreciate it.
we are happy that
Thank
you guys were
guys.
able to get in here and kind of give us some backstory on everything. So
Absolutely.
We will actually hopefully have them out on another show by fall with
Yeah.
us.
Hopefully.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping for
Let's
it.
do it.
And Chris is ready for it. So, on that note, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for joining Actually Controller.
And we will
Thanks
see
for
you next
watching.
episode.
I love you
care.
guys.
Later.
Later.
Sorry, I had to leave to pee.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Actually Controller. If you liked what you heard, please consider following us on all our socials. You can easily find us on all the different platforms by going to linktree/controller33 or scan the QR code if you're watching the video version of this episode. Thank you, and we'll catch you next time.